More than $1 billion will be spent on the April 8 eclipse across North America. But how do we know the predictions are accurate? Well, eclipses have been accurately predicted using the globe for centuries. The earliest claimed eclipse prediction is credited to Thales of Miletus in 585 BC. The story goes that Thales predicted an eclipse would happen on the day of a military battle, and that the battle stopped when the sun was eclipsed and the two sides were able to come to a peace agreement. Only a single sentence is dedicated to the eclipse in the writings of Herodotus. This event had been foretold by Thales, the Milesian, who forewarned the Ionians of it, fixing for it the very year in which it actually took place. Nothing at all is known about how he did it. From the text, it's not even clear if the day of the year was predicted. Some people have exaggerated that story. And there's disagreement about if the whole account is even accurate. It's well documented that many ancient cultures recognize the repeating cycles that eclipses happen in. The Saros cycle is an approximate 18-year pattern for eclipses. This is not based on geometry, just a recognition that they happen in patterns. Saros cycles predict the day of the solar eclipses, but nothing about the time, location, path of totality, or duration is predicted using Saros cycles. It's possible that Thales used something like this cyclical pattern to predict the day of the eclipse. The earliest known geometry-based eclipse prediction was in 1654 by Erhard Weigel. The day before the August 1654 solar eclipse, he predicted a pretty good path of totality across Europe. The path prediction was a bit off and the time wasn't predicted, but it was based on the geometry of the globe, the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun in the solar system. But in 1687, everything changed. Newton published his Principia, describing the laws of gravitational attraction, including significant treatment of the movement of the planets and sun in the solar system based on gravity. What would happen if someone used Newton's law of gravitation to predict the future positions of the Earth, Moon, and Sun? That's exactly what Edmund Halley did. You know Halley. He's got the guy that got the comet named after him. Halley used the law of gravitation to predict the location of the eclipse across England accurately to 4 minutes and the path of totality to within 20 miles. He printed a pamphlet with this prediction on a map. 9 years later, he updated the method he used to more accurately predict the 1724 eclipse. After that, a cottage industry sprang up of eclipse predictions. Many different people were using the law of gravity and the known positions of the Earth, Sun, and Moon in the solar system to accurately predict eclipses. Even a simple thing, like if an eclipse will be a total eclipse or an annular eclipse, requires precise information about the distance between the Earth and the Moon, and the Earth and the Sun, and the sizes of the Moon and the Sun. Today, the time, location, duration, path of totality, amount of totality, and the amount of coverage for eclipses are precisely predicted using the globe and the positions of the Earth, Moon, and Sun in the solar system. These positions are listed in an ephemeris, which is a table that details the trajectory of objects in the solar system. The positions are determined based on an observation, on many observations, and the application of the laws of physics to predict future positions. Fred Espenak has made a catalog of 5,000 years of eclipses. These are available for free on his website, eclipsewise.com. Fred published several books listing eclipse in 10-year segments. I have the 2021 to 2030 book right here. How does Fred predict eclipses? Well, he uses two ephemerides, VSOP 87 and ELP 2000. VSOP 87 tracks the planets Mercury through Venus and has an additional table for the Earth-Moon barycenter. Here's a screenshot of the Fortran program published with the VSOP 87 data package. The positions for the planets are determined for thousands of years. The distance between the Earth and Sun is part of the data needed to determine the totality of an eclipse. The ELP 2000 ephemeris isn't really a table of pre-calculated positions like the other ephemerides. It's actually a set of formulas with input values that output the details of the moon for the date that's input. When predicting eclipses, this allows determination of the amount of totality, the path of totality, the size of the shadow, and the start and end time to the second for any location, and many other factors. The constants that are input into the formulas include the mass of the Earth, Moon and Sun, the distance between the Earth and the Moon, the gravitational constant, the eccentricity of the Moon's orbit, and several other things. Specifically, this ephemeris accurately predicts slight variations in the distance due to the Moon's elliptical orbit. It even includes variations due to tidal forces. ELP 2000 has been implemented in C code and is published on GitHub for free. There's also a JavaScript implementation to make it super easy to use. Using these two ephemerides, the specific location of the path of totality for different times of the day are calculated and published in tables. These are used to make maps and inform people where to travel to see the eclipse. The incredible precision of these predictions are what makes it possible for people to plan trips to see eclipses in advance. With over $1 billion being spent on April 8, there's a lot on the line.
So experts are telling me they're expecting more than $1 billion will be spent during this eclipse. That's in one weekend. Most of that will be on hotels, restaurants, and travel.
If the predictions are wrong, even the slightest amount, there will be a huge backlash. But so far, Fred Aspanak and the heliocentric ephemerides have been totally correct, to the second, for past eclipses. I'll be in northern Texas for the April 8 eclipse. If you'll be in the area, you can come watch the eclipse with me. We're planning the specific location on my Discord server. The link is in the YouTube description. Now, I was recently challenged to a debate by Vika Drazeev. He thinks the Earth is a giant pancake. And he has positioned himself as the foremost dirt pizza leader in eclipse prediction.
I'm Vika Drazeev, producer and director of two compelling Flat Earth documentaries. One is Flat Earth the Curve, which explores testimonies of Air Force pilots, Marines, who testify Earth's stationary nature. And the second one is called The Mechanical Realm, which delves into Antikythera mechanism, presenting a geocentric stationary model.
What do you think his answer was when I asked him in the debate to explain how they predict eclipses? All right, Vika, please show how the path of totality for solar eclipses are predicted using the geocentric stationary level Earth model. For example, April 8th, 2024 is coming up.
Cool. The prediction of the path of totality for solar eclipses within the geocentric stationary level Earth model.
Well, I'll cover this debate and other space tortilla believers in the next eclipse video. Be sure to subscribe so you know when it comes out.